Hey guys, we are live. I'm super excited for our level up lessons today, talking about those mindset shifts for the mindset of that 6 and 7 figure business owners. We're going to talk exactly what these three major shifts that are going to be happening in your business. Give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and tag some friends that I know wanted to be here, but as you're popping in, say hi. Let me know you're here. I want to make sure that we're going to get started in just a quick minute. Super excited today to have this chat with you guys. This is probably one of my most favorite topics, and you're going to hear some really awesome things that you've probably never heard before. And it's going to really help you understand why you might be feeling super stuck in your business, but more importantly, the shifts that have to happen in order for you to really scale to 6 and 7 figures, which obviously we all want, right? That's why we're here. So as you're popping in, say hello. Give me some sugar. Show me that you're watching. You can just drop an emoji or anything, or drop into my comments so that I know you're here. Again, today is a really important one. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we're going to start your year off right. How to build that momentum in your business by mastering these huge three mindset shifts that a lot of people struggle with when it comes to their business. So for all of those of you who are new here, we have a lot of new faces in our Facebook community. I want to make sure I share with you guys that I help impact-driven women in service-based businesses attract and retain dream clients using what I call an easy yes pathway, and helping them leverage their authority. So now that we've got that out the way, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. And as you're joining, just let me know you're here, so I can see you and know that you're here with us today, and I can cheer you along as we're going this. So again, the topic we're covering today is going to be talking about these three mindset shifts, right? The three mindset shifts of 6 and 7 figure business owners, because what we don't understand is that our mindset really controls our actions. It really is the driving force of what we are able to accomplish. Now, I want to start by sharing with you that a couple years ago, I literally remember sitting there saying, mindset is such a hokey pokey little conversation, right? Like, who needs mindset, right? And I'm sure all of us have had this conversation with ourselves at some point. Hey, Heather. And I literally said to myself that mindset is for the weak people, okay? And I was literally stuck in this idea that all I needed was more strategy in my business, because I'm a strategist and strategy is where I thrive. So I spent all this time trying to spend all my efforts and energies on strategy, and for some reason it wasn't moving the needle. My business was staying really stuck where it was at. I was feeling really frustrated. I was like, I'm doing all the things, but it's not producing results I want. What the heck is going on? So it was really a shift that had to happen, where I had to say to myself, okay, I'm ready. I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of being stuck in this space of feeling like nothing's moving my business forward. And what happened was a mindset shift. And so it was really in that moment of saying, I'm done playing small and success is not optional, that I literally shifted my mindset and realized that I couldn't build a strategic growth opportunity for myself without pairing that with mindset. Right? So it was really in that moment that I made that major shift. And within literally 3 months of doing that, my business took off. I went from literally bringing in like very little revenue. I think it was 2017, I made $40,000 total in a year. And it was within just a few months after that I made that mindset shift that my business blew up. And I started making 15, 20K months, etc. And everything kind of just took off from there. So share with me if you guys have ever been there. Say like tell me in the comments and say shift. Like, have you had that shift where all of a sudden you realized, okay, what's missing is my mindset. What's missing in this equation of my growth is my mindset. Tell me if that's happened to you by sharing shift in the comments, okay? Love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover these three main areas of mindset, the three key pieces that really hold you back, and how these shifts help you scale to 6 and 7 figures. Okay, so we're going to start with my favorite, which is the belief mindset. And this is, I pulled you guys in the group to ask you guys about your thoughts on the belief mindset and where you're at with it. And this was the resounding answer to people saying, this is where you're struggling, right? Jessica says, absolutely. We've all had that belief shift, right? So tell me, drop belief if you feel like your belief mindset is the thing that's holding you back the most. The belief mindset is this idea of like, you might see imposter syndrome creeping in. You might see just this like internal struggle with you being able to show up and do the things you want to. This is our belief mindset. Okay. So I want to start by sharing with you a story. When I was younger, my mom literally said to me that if I went outside with wet hair, or I went to sleep with wet hair, that I would catch a cold, right? And so for my entire life, like literally until I was well into my 20s or 30s, I told my kids the same story. So I said to them, you can't go to sleep with wet hair. We have to dry your hair because you're going to get sick. This is a belief system that was built into me. We're not born with belief, okay? We're taught belief. It's a learned behavior. So my entire life, I literally believed that going to sleep with wet hair would get me sick. And that meant no matter what anyone else said to me, I truly believed this because I was told this over and over again on repeat. I learned to believe this, and then I taught this to my children who went on to believe it. Until one day, someone said to me, you know, that's not true. And nothing they could say or do would make me think otherwise because I built a belief system that this was true. Crazy, right? Same thing with like any belief system you might have in your life. You have this conviction to believe because you were taught that belief. So I want you to think for a second of a belief mindset that you have right now. Whether that's I'm not good enough or whether that's I'm the best at what I do, what's a belief mindset that you currently have in your business? I'd love if you could share with me. If not, you can just drop belief in the comments because I want to hear from you that you're understanding this belief mindset shift that has to happen, okay? So again, with my story of how I believed deeply in my soul that I had to dry my hair, right? Your belief in yourself and your capabilities absolutely learned. So this is an important thing for you to understand because a lot of times we're stuck in this idea that like, I'm not confident enough or I'm not born with this ability, but that's all learned. Your belief is formed through your experience and then it's filtered through what you allow yourself to accept. Think about that for a minute. The beliefs you have about you, about your business, about your future, about your success are all learned. They're all things you've decided to accept for yourself, okay? So I want to repeat that one more time because I really want you to let that sink into you, okay? So your belief is formed through experiences and the things you've learned, and then it's filtered through the things you allow yourself to accept. What are you allowing yourself to accept? What belief system, what ideas about yourself are you willing to say, I accept this? Because that's what you're doing when we talk about imposter syndrome, when we talk about how we're showing up and the things that we do. These are all the beliefs we've allowed ourselves to accept, okay? So are you happy with what you've allowed yourself to accept of this? Tell me I'm happy or no, I'm not happy because I want to know where you're at with your belief system right now. So I want to explain, what does it mean now that we have a clear understanding of what that belief mindset is? What does this mean to you? Why do I care about this? That means that you get to choose what you believe, okay? Whether it's something you've been told on repeat or whether it's something you've told yourself, that's the belief system that you've created for yourself. So again, I want you to recognize that we control that belief system. We make that choice, right? Jessica says I get in my own way. Right? Heather says shift. I need to get that shift as I struggle with imposter syndrome. Making money is hard, right? So Heather is saying to herself that making money is hard. That's the belief system she's learned and then allowed herself to accept. So are you willing to continue on accepting this belief system you've created for yourself? Or are you willing to say no and shift that belief? Because it's hard when we get stuck in that system. Right? That pedaling of back and forth of I think this is it, and then literally that's where we stay stuck. Yeah, isn't it funny the wet hair belief? Your mom, I think a lot of moms said that growing up, and you never really you never questioned it because you believed it. Stephanie says, ever since I was a kid, I wouldn't try if I thought I would fail, which is why I'm struggling now. The fear of failure, imposter syndrome is a big part of it. So true. But again, it shifts in that idea of, I don't want you to get into this mentality of this is what I believed as a kid, so it's ingrained in me. I make that decision every single day to choose that belief system. You make that decision. Whether or not you've recognized it, whether it's subconscious or consciously, you've made the decision every single day to accept that about yourself. And I'm pretty sure you're done doing it, right? So tell me you're done, because I want you to not just say, I don't want you to learn from this. I want you to declare and to take action. Okay? So I want you to think back, right? Like, just to show you how this is applied. If you think back as a child, you always automatically thought you were the best at everything, right? We grow up with this idea, like as a kid, you're like, I'm so good at this, right? My kids are always like, I'm the best at jumping on the trampoline, or whatever it is, whatever action they're taking. They believe they're the best at things. So as a child, you don't have this automatically ingrained belief at things. What happens is you step into an experience, okay? Like maybe you're learning to play the piano, or you're learning to play soccer, or you're drawing, right? And you're just kind of enjoying that experience when we first start out. But as we go through it, as we're experiencing, as we're learning, as we're getting this information that's being brought upon us, you begin to see and compare yourself to others, right? This is what we do in business right now. So you can literally compare this to, as a child, when you're first starting out in something, you don't believe that you're bad at it, you're excited. Just like you started this business excited, driven, passionate about the things you wanted to do. But as you went through these experiences, you began to compare yourself. And in that comparing, right, in that, you created a belief, because you compared yourself to that other person, and now you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not as good as that other person. That other person is better than me. So you built a belief based on that experience. So whatever negative experiences you've had, whatever things that have happened, those have helped you build this belief system. So what we have to do in order to scale our business, in order to move past this, is to recognize that and say, I'm not allowing that to hold me back. I'm going to shift my belief today. I'm going to make that decision today that it's not going to continue on that way. I'm going to shift that belief system. Okay? So again, I want you to drop shift again. I know we've already said it, but I want you to drop shift again, because I want you to recognize it, but I also want you to take action on it. So as a 6 and 7 figure business owner, the thing that happens differently, it's not that I just believe in who I am, okay? It's not that I just believe in the voice that I have. They have that unshakable belief that cannot be broken, okay? It cannot be broken. And your belief system is a key to what I call eminent authority. The thing that flows out of you that you can't shut up about, the thing that you really truly believe comes from this eminent authority, is literally our belief system in who we are. Okay? So we've covered belief mindset. Drop a belief so I know that you guys are understanding this, you're comprehending it. And don't worry, at the end I'm going to give you a couple minutes for a Q&A session, but I want to make sure we understand, and I want the key takeaways. Our belief system is the key to our eminent authority, the thing that allows us to really grow, to show up in a completely different way. Stephanie says shift. Good. So excited for you guys. Okay. So number 2, then the second mindset shift that you need to be really clear on in that shift to 6 and 7 figures is your action mindset. Hi, Jeanette. Thanks for joining. Is this action mindset, right? So I want to, again, start with a quick story with you. A month or two ago, my son got a new bed, and I was really excited. I was like, I'm going to build this bed for you. So ready for it. And I went to go get my tools to build the bed. Okay. And I went to go grab the drill, and the drill wasn't charged. So I was stuck there trying to build this bed, but the drill wasn't charged and it didn't work. And so I was stuck, right? I was frustrated, and I wasn't really able to take action. I did everything a little bit slower. Now, why is that story important to you? Okay. Because you can't just go into something and think that you're going to have your mindset ready. It's not going to be like ready and locked and loaded. You have to have taken the time to charge your mindset in order to take action. This is where a lot of business owners struggle. They haven't charged their mindset, so they can't take action. So this is why the order we're going in is really, really strategic. I want you to understand that belief system literally sets the belief for everything we're doing. It's what charges your mindset for action. That belief that I know I'm going to need these tools in order for me to move my business forward. So you charge your mindset for action. Okay? So again, charging your mindset really comes from a place of belief. How do you charge your mindset for action right now? What do you do currently? And it's okay if you say, I don't do anything, or I'm just starting. Hey, Tracy, but tell me right now, how do you charge your mindset for action? What are you doing to push you to take action? Okay? Yay, Carissa is here to finally be able to join in. I love it. we want to make sure that we recognize our action isn't about perfection. It's about charging our mindset to take imperfect action, but action. Keyword being action, not perfection. I feel like this is a common problem with so many business owners. In 10 years I've been doing this, I see it all the time. Their action is focused on perfection. They haven't charged their action for growth. So I charge my action. My mindset is always charged by growth. I tell myself that's the belief system I've believed. Unconditional growth. No matter what happens, I will grow through this, right? So tell me, do you have a way to charge your current mindset? Drop charge in the comments if you're understanding this need to charge your mindset for action. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example. Imagine you wanted to learn to cook, right? You're like, I want to be a 5-star chef. I want to learn how to cook. I want to go and become this amazing chef and, blow people's socks off, right? You can't just sit there and read all the books, right? We can't just do all the things and try to figure out cooking through learning, right? We can't absorb all that information and feel like now I can cook really well. That doesn't work, right? That would be crazy. You can't all of a sudden figure all these things out in your brain and then become a 5-star chef overnight. It requires action. So what do we do in order to create action? We take a cooking class. You burn some meals. You keep learning and you keep trying to get feedback. And now that one single action, that action over perfection that we've taken, has now learned to create a growth mindset, has learned to create an action-charged mindset. Versus if I sat there and tried to perfect the process in my head, I would have never gotten anywhere. I would have never grown into what I'm doing. So again, if you want to be a great cook or if you want to be a great business owner, it doesn't come from planning more information. It doesn't come from learning and knowledge and all this more stuff. That's not actually going to get you anywhere. Okay? So I want you to realize most entrepreneurs are sitting around and thinking about the success they want without taking chances, without taking risks, without learning and growing. They're just like, I'm just going to learn and keep gaining this knowledge, and then they're stuck. Okay? So tell me right now if you feel like you're in a stuck situation. If you feel like you're not driving yourself towards action, you're just staying stuck. Okay? Tell me if you're feeling stuck, because that's that whole, we haven't charged our mindset for action. We haven't taken the time to charge that mindset to grow. Yay, I'm so glad it makes sense. So tell me down below if you're stuck or you're moving, because those are the two places we're at, right? We're either stuck or we're moving. There's no other option. There's no in between. We're stuck or we're moving. So tell me if you're currently, and no shame in this. I want you to acknowledge this because action only comes from acknowledgement. So tell me, do you feel like you're stuck or you're moving? Now I want you to remember, you have two options when it comes to your action. Feeling stuck, Stephanie, I totally feel that, right? And we make this choice. So I want you to understand that's great that you're sharing that. I want you to remember that you have two options when it comes to this space of feeling stuck or moving, okay? We either choose to fall and get back up again and again and hope that we find the lesson, right? Crossing our fingers and saying, I hope I find the lesson, or I hope I find this action in what I need to do. Or we seek out support to help us learn from it, to gravitate towards that, to move faster. Those are the choices we make every single day, okay? So you want to take that energy around the belief you've built and use that to charge your action towards growth and change. Yay for moving. Carissa says, I'm an arrow being pulled back, getting ready to shoot forward. Heck yes, you are. You absolutely are, okay? So take that energy. We want to take that energy of the belief that we're going to build from this day forward, and we're going to take action towards everything. Because I want you to remember, success is developed through action. It's not something we wake up with. It's not something that you're born with. It's not something that only a select few people can have. It's developed through action. So that's why our mindset is just as important as our strategy when it comes to our growth, when it comes to scaling a 6- and 7-figure business, okay? So success can be developed through action. So you have to affirm those beliefs with that action. Because again, something really important to remember is the biggest form of belief is action. It's us taking an actual step. It's us saying, I'm not just going to say this thing out loud and say, I will be successful. I will grow my business to 6 figures. I'm actually taking action. That is the strongest form of belief. Okay? So I want you to think about this really quickly. 6 and 7 figure business owners focus on small actions. I literally made the biggest shift into multiple 6 figures by really focusing on small actions that I take rather than that final destination. I'm not worried about just where I'm going. It's the path that gets me there. You have to have a no-fail mentality to recognize that failure is just our opportunity to grow. Okay? It's what we take action on. It's what allows us to move forward. Some of the ways that I help people do this is by creating motivational triggers, by creating what we call the rapid growth action, by creating committed conviction. These are how we take our mindset and produce action, produce actual results, right? Because you have to be willing to take action. Joy says, always moving for the sole reason that mindset is my #1 priority, and boy, oh boy, do I fall and fail a lot. That's okay, right? It's just about where we're going. So again, the biggest shifts that happen are when we develop that success action. That's why I talked about a lot of this. Charging in process. Good. So glad to hear that. So again, last, I want to talk about money mindset. This is a fun one, okay? And it's one that we oftentimes overlook, okay? I want to share with you that when I first started in business and for my whole life, I was really proud to be cheap. I was really proud to be the best at finding the lowest prices out there. It was like literally my belief system around money was to feel confident in the lack of it. Okay? I told myself that over and over again. But here's what you need to understand. Money mindset is really just your belief around money. It's the power you allow money to hold over you and the world around you, right? And it's your reflection and attitude about it. Again, I want to repeat that so you really understand. Money mindset is your belief system around money. So I want you to take a second and think about the things, the beliefs that you have around money and why you've created this idea of lack or growth. Because you choose that, whether it's a story you've been told or not. Again, we choose that story. And as you're thinking about that, I'm moving, but I need to work on my belief in charge. Good. You have to have a charge to keep moving forward. And that's one of the key things that we do with clients is help them build the charge that keeps them moving forward, keeps that momentum consistently moving so that they can grow quickly. Okay? So I want you to understand that money is a renewable resource. Okay? Time is not. This is a tough concept for a lot of business owners to understand. Most people have this totally backwards and they're spending so much time protecting their money and giving away their time freely. Isn't that scary? That we choose to give away the resource that we cannot renew versus money, which is an absolute renewable resource, we constantly protect it. We constantly hold on to it. And that's all because of a belief system. It's all, do we believe that money flows freely? That money is something we can easily create? Again, you've built a belief and attitude around money. What is your belief and attitude around money? Does it feel easy or does it feel like something you have to protect? Are you proud of holding on to your money? I was proud, right? Like not in a negative way. I was taught to believe that holding on to money was a proud belief to have, that I was stacking it up for something. And that's what I spent all my time believing. So share with me right now, what is your belief around this money? What do you feel when you're thinking about money? Just even the first thought when you think about money, what's the feeling that comes to mind? That's a really clear and easy way for you to understand your relationship with money. Because we're told money doesn't grow on trees. Isn't that true? And I don't want to blame our families because it's not. That's what every generation is told. And it's true. I don't want you to think that just because money is a renewable resource, you should spend it like it's never, like not to worry about it. But I want you to understand that we're taught, we believe that money's not a renewable resource. And somehow along the lines, we're taught that hustling, giving away our time is a renewable resource for some reason, which it's not. No one lays on their deathbed and says, I wish I had more money. They say, I wish I had more time, right? Learn from those growth opportunities. We're protecting money. Stephanie says she's protecting money, as if it's not renewable, as if it's not something that you can create with ease, because your relationship doesn't feel solid with money. It feels like it's literally holding on to you. So no, you're not controlling money, money's controlling you. That's a scary thought, right? Even though we don't want to say we're controlled by money, we're controlled a bit by money. So I want you guys to understand something. When you believe this, when you have this belief, it's time to quit that money story and decide on your new money story. You make that decision, right? We make that choice to say money is something I enjoy and that I create freely. Change your money story. Decide that the role money is going to play in your life from this moment going forward. What's going to change for you? How are you able to say to yourself, my relationship with money is no longer that I'm going to protect it, but I'm going to release it, right? Will you allow it to limit or release you? This is the key thing to think about. Most people don't recognize that they're allowing money to limit them. They're saying, and I've done this a million times, I'm not going to do that thing until I make this money. I can't do this because I don't have money. You're telling yourself over and over again these beliefs about money, and so you're limiting yourself. Imagine all the things you've limited yourself about and on because of money versus releasing you. Letting that money release you into opportunity, into growth, into the next steps that you want to take. Okay? So the idea is that you live in a space of thinking that you're always going to have limited money. That's the way our brains are taught. You've told yourself again and again, money is limited. My time is renewable, right? You keep telling yourself that, but money is limited. That's what you've believed for so long. And that's what's created a scarcity of it. You're literally scared of money. Good. I have a daily schedule and I follow it. I love it. So, again, I want you guys to understand, is the idea that you live in a space of thinking that your money will always be limited and you're going to let that limited mentality hold you down, or will you let it release you into this abundance and that belief that you can create wealth with ease? Which one do you choose? Limit or release? Drop it in the comments and let me know if you're going to limit or you're going to release. Because that shift is huge. To tell yourself, I'm going to release my belief in money. I'm going to release this feeling and this attachment and this control that's been created by money. Okay? 6 and 7 figure business owners aren't focused on money. They don't see money as a limited resource. They focus on money as being a renewable resource and a tool that allows them to release their growth. If you look at money as a tool rather than a controlling factor, your whole strategy in business will change. Everything will change, okay? It's those people who are willing to say, I will put my money on my belief. I will allow myself to recognize that. It is going to be hard, Stephanie, right? Nothing worth doing is easy. It's always going to be hard. The best things are always the most difficult, okay? So again, I want to recap really quickly, and I'll give you guys a couple minutes for a Q&A. And while I kind of get ready for that, I want to share with you guys, if you are struggling, if you feel like you want to be able to accomplish the things you want to be able to scale, we have coaching programs that are literally created to help you do this. As a strategist, I literally build the system to help you overcome both your mindset, your strategy, and your lead system so that you can create not only the strategy for growth and scaling your business, but create the mindset that allows you to do both so that you can create sustainable business. Okay? If this is something you're interested in, definitely drop into the comments and say shift. Again, I want you to drop the shift and I'll reach out to you and share with you a little bit more about how we do this. Okay? So if you are ready for that shift, I want to hear that shift and I'll reach out. I'll send you a DM and we'll just chat a little bit about how that looks. Because I know that a lot of times we get stuck in this idea of being where we're at versus looking for the opportunity, looking for the release to that next level. Okay, I want to help you learn the release. So again, just to recap the 3 mindset shifts that we talked about today, these main huge core concepts were our belief system, understanding our belief mindset, understanding our action mindset and what that takes in order to build action, right? The 3 things that I do with my clients to help them build those action mindset is for them to have motivational triggers, for them to have what we call rapid growth action, and for them to have committed conviction. This is what allows them to create rapid growth, for them to go from struggling and barely surviving into thriving businesses. Okay? So if that's on your to-do list for this year, definitely drop shift in the comments and I'll reach out to you. So I have a few minutes now. I want to check back in with you guys. Do you guys have any questions about these 3 shifts that we talked about today? Do you understand how and where these are showing up and how you can apply action to these things? Because that's the key of this, right? It's not for you to just take more information and take more knowledge and not take action. It's about you actually utilizing the tools that I've given you and taking action on it. I want to know that you're ready to take action and move forward in this, because 2021 is just a year. It's just another number that comes up. It's what we do with this time. It's what we do with this opportunity that really, really changes what we do. Okay? So let me know down in the comments. I know there's a slight lag, so let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions about anything I've shared with you guys here today. And again, it might take you a little bit to kind of digest the information I've shared with you today. So if you digest it and you come back and you're like, I've got questions, definitely come back into the comments. I'll check back in a little bit later on to make sure you guys have the information. Okay? If not, then I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that this was a helpful training for you guys today. Again, if you are ready to release, if you are ready to move to your next level, and you're tired of being in this moment that you're in, and you want to learn both the strategy and the mindset that's required to scale a successful 6- and 7-figure business, definitely drop shift down below or send me a PM, and I'll share with you just a little bit about what I do. No pressure. If any of you guys have ever chatted with me, you know I'm not a pressure salesman, but I'm definitely here and I want to serve you. So definitely reach out to me and I can show you exactly what it takes and what it's like to build your own easy yes pathway so that all of these pieces are working together to build the mindset and the strategy and the action. Okay? Okay, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have an incredible week and I look forward to seeing how you take these and implement them into your business.